Hi everyone, Kaary here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing great today. So today I'm back with another speed build for you guys, and this is the first speed build that I work on since I moved out of my apartment. So hopefully there's not that much difference in the quality of the sound. We're working today on quite of a longer speed build, and I'm gonna say right off the bat that this is the part 1 out of 2 parts of this build. Today we're just gonna be working on the exterior of this build, and I have to say it took me forever to finish it. It literally took me months to finish this whole build because I started building this when we first got Life and Death, so a couple of months ago. Yeah, it's been a while, and I have been working on this build for a long time. Editing it has been crazy. I have been working so hard to have something big for you guys. This is actually a build that's gonna be part of my save file. I think this is the biggest build I've done for the save file so far, and we're building today in old Ravenwood state. That it's in the world of Ravenwood. That it's the world that we got with the Life and Death expansion pack. So yeah, I'm actually really excited about this build because I have never built a castle this big before. The latest castle that I built was actually when we first got the castle estate kit, and I built something with only the base game and the kit, and it was or wasn't it pack restricted? I have no idea, but we built it in Forgotten Hollow. And it was kind of a short video. It wasn't that big of a castle, and today we're actually building something really massive because this is a 50 by 50 lot, I think, if I remember correctly. And I covered everything with this build. It's insane. So there's a lot of details going on. That's why I had to divide it into interior and exterior. So today we're just gonna be focusing on the exterior of this build, and in the following speed build we're gonna be working on the interior. I really wanted to have both of the videos edited before I started doing the voiceover because I have been editing these videos like by parts, I would say. So if I worked on something smaller, like all the builds that you've seen lately on the channel, I've worked on them in the meantime. Like when I was editing this one, I was building something smaller so I could have something on the channel. Then I would edit that video, then I would go back to this one, and so on and so forth. So that's what I've been doing, and it has been insanely hard. Like working on the shape, but I took the inspiration from a picture that I saw on Pinterest, and of course I used my own ideas just to make it work the way that I wanted it to. And because this is such a weird shape, the interior is just insanely crazy. Like everything that I did in the interior, I had to manage to have like a cohesive floor plan, and yeah, it was just so much work. I really have to say that I admire the people that are able to build castles or mansions or bigger builds like this all the time, because this build drove me crazy. I loved every single part of this build, don't get me wrong. I'm so proud of what I did, but I don't think I'm gonna be doing bigger builds like this for a while. I mean, there are some bigger lots in every world, and of course if I want to have like a full save file complete someday, I do have to do it. But yeah, you won't see me build something this massive for a while because I mean, this was really a lot of work. And yeah, when I'm doing this voiceover is actually Sunday, and tomorrow for me, today for you if you're watching this video the day it was released, we're gonna have some announcements regarding the Nostalgia Now part of the the Simmers, oh my god, the stream that we got a few days ago, like some weeks ago. And yeah, there was this kind of Nostalgia Now part of the map, and we don't know what it is about, but there are some rumors about maybe it being that they are going to release The Sims 1 and Sims 2 again. That would be amazing. That's something that I've been wanting the Sims team to do for a long time. I've said it many times. I really would love to play The Sims 1 and The Sims 2 again in my computer, and I just think that a lot of people have been feeling really nostalgic when it comes to this game and everything that the Sims team has been releasing lately. It has a lot to do with more like older simmers, like 30 or something years old simmers. So I'm one of those. I started playing The Sims when The Sims 1 was released, so I've been playing The Sims for 25 years and I cannot wait to see more Sims 1 and Sims 2 content on The Sims 4 because it's just amazing. There's something about those years that it just speaks to me, and I just really want to have more items that are more retro inspired. Also, I'm going through this kind of retro era, I would call it. I've been building a lot of retro kind of builds or things that are kind of inspired by retro styles. So yeah, having like more retro items for me at least is just perfect right now because I just love the 90s. I mean, I love that era. I love all the things that we can get in the game and all the things that we got in the early 2000s with The Sims 1 and then The Sims 2. Of course, if you know me, you know that I didn't play The Sims 2 that much because I actually didn't own it. I didn't own The Sims 1 and I didn't own The Sims 2. I just owned The Sims 3 and Sims 4. And I would go to my friend's house to play The Sims 2 and to a cousin's house to play The Sims 1. So yeah, it was just a lot of going to places when I wanted to play The Sims 1 and Sims 2. So I didn't have the chance to play The Sims 2 that much, and not so much The Sims 1. I played it like crazy, like all the time. It was so great. But yeah, talking a little bit more about this build, you see that we are progressing quite a lot with the exterior of this build. And I took a lot of inspiration from pictures that I saw on Pinterest. I really wanted to have a lot of towers to make it feel like it was like a real castle with a lot of towers, a lot of different details, rounded areas. But I didn't use any round pieces in this build because I know they're buggy, I know they're glitchy, and I just didn't want to go through that with such a big build. So I just decided to use the like create hexagons to create the towers. And in this area we have like this glass roof that I decided to put in here, and it's because this area is going to be like a sunroom. And yeah, when you watch the interior you will see what I did in that part. But there are two parts in this build that are gonna have like roof like glass roofs, and they just give such a different vibe to this build. And I just loved it so much. But yeah, because this build is so massive, it took me forever to finish it because all my builds, and when I say all my builds, I mean every one of my builds, I build the shell first off camera, I take some screenshots, and then I delete everything and I start building it when I record it. So technically I built this shell twice and that was a long time, and it was a lot of work, and I did struggle because even though I took screenshots and I knew exactly how things were supposed to be looking, you see me now that I'm struggling here with this hallway thingy because I didn't understand quite well what I was doing with the screenshots that I took. And that's something that happens to me quite often when it comes to bigger builds. Maybe it's me that I just don't know how to read the screenshots that I take. I have no idea. But yeah, I struggled a little bit trying to recreate everything that I had already created. So yeah, it was a lot of work. But this castle, it was just worth it. I loved it so much. And it's such a big place that I never thought I would build something this massive. I'm actually really proud of myself. Maybe it's just maybe it sounds like I'm bragging or something, but I'm really proud of myself because you know me, you know that I never build things like this, like bigger things like this or historical type of builds or anything like that, because they scared me quite a lot. It's really intimidating to build something this massive. That's why I say that I really admire people that build like mansions or castles like all the time or most of the time, because it's so much work and it's so hard. But yeah, I just really like it. There's a lot going on in this build, and I don't know how I'm gonna make it, how I'm gonna do it to cover 31 minutes of voiceover. We're 10 minutes into the speed build already, and I just don't know exactly what to say because I mean, what am I gonna say? We're putting walls and then windows, and we're painting the walls, and then we're adding roof pieces, and that's pretty much everything that I'm going to do until I finish everything here. But yeah, as I mentioned, I added a lot of different details in the exterior here. I actually had so much fun, and you see me now counting like the tiles and trying to figure out why this piece doesn't work, like doesn't align properly. If in the screenshots that I took, it actually aligns quite well. So yeah, it was just a struggle. Then I ended up figuring it out and I managed to make it work. But as of now, I struggled quite a lot trying to figure out how to do it, what to do, why wasn't it working and stuff like that. It was just crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of roof pieces going on here, and because I have a lot of bump outs in the build, I just wanted to have a lot of different roof pieces, because in that way they wouldn't glitch when you get inside of the build, so there wouldn't be any issues regarding the roof. But I did struggle quite a lot, as you see here, trying to align all the roof pieces. It wasn't that easy. Sometimes I just had to live with it and just get rid of those pieces and trying to figure out a better way to do it. Yeah, it was hard. It was really, really hard. But yeah, I think I've said that quite a lot lately. Saying that this build was really hard for me. But yeah, I thought that this lot was just perfect for a castle. I think a lot of people have built castles in this lot, and I think it's because everything, the surroundings, everything, the fact that this lot is called Old Ravenwood Estate, it just says that you need to have a castle here, or like a massive build. And I wouldn't have built like a residential rental lot or something like that, like have like 1,000 houses in here. I was gonna say casas, that's houses in Spanish, and I was gonna say that. I'm really sorry. Sometimes languages just get mixed up when I am speaking, and castle starts with CA and casa starts with CA. So yeah, it was a little bit of a struggle, but I wouldn't create like a residential rental or anything like that in here, because the surroundings just scream castle. So it was what I was supposed to do here. And I know that a lot of people have built castles here, but I think it's just the perfect build to do. And I was struggling a little bit with this build because I wasn't sure if I wanted it to be like historically accurate, if I wanted it to be more like a renovation of a castle, because I've seen this girl on TikTok. She lives in a castle, like in a real castle, and I just took the inspiration from what I saw on how she lives. I don't exactly remember her name or her account, so I cannot link it in the description or anything like that. I'm really sorry. But there's this girl that lives in a castle, and she shows like everything around, and I was considering like taking inspiration from that when I started doing this build. It ends up being a castle that feels a little bit more renovated, but still keeping all the kind of historical what's the word that I'm gonna use, like the historical characteristics of this build. So yeah, we don't have a throne room or anything like that, or a ballroom, but we do have a lot of space for your Sims to move around and do different things. And I was considering having a household living in this lot. I still don't know if I'm gonna create it. I do have kind of a household in mind that could live in this lot. Maybe I will create them. That would be kind of fun. But so far I just don't have it yet. But the rooms and everything like that are fully decorated for specific Sims, so maybe I will do it. But I just haven't had enough time. You know that I moved into my mother-in-law's house, and yeah, moving with an infant is insane. It's just so crazy, so hard, so tiring, so stressful that I don't want to do it again. I know that I'm gonna be moving out again in a couple of years, but I just don't want to do it again. I mean, not unless my son is a little bit older, because trying to pack things with a 4-month-old is, oh my god, it's almost impossible. It's near impossible to do. we managed to do it, and we managed to move and to decorate the bedroom and set up everything and have the both setups, my boyfriend's and mine, and have everything done in less than 2 days. But still, it's just crazy. So yeah, we're really tired. I have no idea how I got the idea of doing this voiceover right now, because I haven't slept that well yet, and there's still a lot to do, but I really wanted to have this build out for you guys, because I've been working in this build for so long, and I shared some sneak peeks when I was building this the first time. And when I say the first time, I mean when I was first building it, and it's not because I built it more than once. I mean, I built the shell first and then the real build, but I think that's just me building once. But yeah, I just shared some sneak peeks a few months ago, and then it's like I forgot about this build, but I didn't. I just hadn't edited yet the build, and I finished building this a few days ago, like when we got the Casanova steak kit with the other 2 kits. That's the day that I finished fully building this and decorating it and doing all the things. So I almost add things from the Casanova cave kit and also from the Secret Sanctuary kit. I didn't, but I almost did. So that's how long it took me. It's like, I don't know, 2-3 months to finish this build. I have no idea when we got. I mean, we got Life and Death in October. So yeah, November, December, now January. So almost 3 months of me building this. And it was just so much work. But yeah, I didn't add anything from those 3 new kits, because if I had added something, it would have been like 1 or 2 items, and yeah, they just they weren't so necessary for this build. But here I am adding this debug windows from Cottage Living, because the inspo pick that I used to base this build on actually had windows in like these kind of raised areas in here. So I decided to go around the whole build adding these windows. It's like you have a basement, and like it's a really big one, and it has a lot of windows, because you still need to have windows in the basement, but there's nothing. there is no basement. Everything that you see now is what you have in this build. There is no basement, so don't worry. And also I did use terrain tools for this build. Something that I also did is that I started working on the landscaping here, so you will see me doing all the landscaping in this video, and in the next one you will see only the interior of this build. So it was kind of a struggle, because I was really nervous about the idea of losing all the landscaping that I was doing because of this horrible terrain glitch that we have. We still have it. We still miss some terrain paint sometime. We still, if you load into a lot and then you log out of it and then you load into it again, sometimes you don't have the terrain paint, and I really didn't want to go through that. I didn't want to lose all the work that I did in the terrain paint. Hopefully I didn't do it. I mean, luckily I didn't miss anything. I didn't lose all the progress that I was doing. So I was so happy about that, because it would have been just crazy and really like a bummer if I had to work on the terrain paint again, and maybe I just wouldn't finish this build, and it would be one of many of my builds that I just never finished because they're too big, or because I lose the inspiration, and because something happens that just doesn't make me want to finish the build. It has happened a lot throughout the years. I really didn't want this build to be one of those, and I'm so happy that it wasn't. But yeah, here we're working with some terrain tools. I really wanted to have like this lower area to create like a deck. There's gonna be a pool as well. So here's where I decided that this build was gonna be more of a renovated kind of castle. So for Sims that are more contemporary, I would say, that live more in the present, and it's not like they don't have a TV or like there's no technology in this build. On the contrary, they do have many things. There's also one of the Sims here that is actually a streamer or something like that. I would have used the Comfy Gamer kit for this build, but as I said, I didn't use the kits, the new kits that we got. But yeah, there's technology here, but I still wanted it to feel like it was an older build. So I kept this flooring from the Castle Estate kit. Also, the wallpaper that you saw me using throughout the whole castle is from that kit as well. And here we're adding the pool. And what I'm gonna be doing with the pool is actually creating like a waterfall kind of situation. So the water that you see that finishes like before I started with the terrain paint, that water is gonna have a waterfall kind of situation, and that's where the pool is gonna start. So I tried to combine both things to create something more like I don't know, more cohesive, I would say. So I'm using these rocks from the Riviera Retreat kit to create like a kind of a waterfall situation. I really like the end result. I took a lot of screenshots. One thing that I didn't do with this build is play testing it. When you're watching this video, I haven't play tested anything. I don't think I'm gonna play test this build. I think I actually already uploaded it to the gallery. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I already did it. So if I did and something doesn't work, I'm really sorry, but there shouldn't be any issues, because when you watch the interior, you will see that everything just flows so well that there shouldn't be any issues, and the interior is really massive. I tried not to miss anything, like any space, but there are some places that I decided not to use because it was gonna be just too much. But here you see me creating this kind of a fence situation with these hedges. I moved them all with the tool mod because I just didn't want them to move around by themselves because of the terrain tool. They would just move and move around and they wouldn't like fit. And I really wanted to use this pergola from the Riviera Retreat kit as well. I ended up using it here with some chairs and an area for your Sims to sit. I did decorate the like the outside with some furniture, like this kind of a patio area. I decorated it, I added some furniture, but I didn't do that much in here as well. Like when it comes to adding furniture, I didn't do that much. I'm using these hanging lights from, I think these are from Life and Death. I could be mistaken, but maybe they are from Life and Death. I don't know, but they look so nice in here. And of course I had to use the tool mod to properly place them. And here I'm gonna be creating another tower because I thought that this originally would have been like a watchtower or something like that, but the family that decided to buy this castle, because yes, they did buy it, or maybe they inherited it or something, they turned this tower into an outdoor kitchen. So yeah, there's gonna be a tiny kitchen in here, and I am adding some windows here, and I really like this tower. I think it's a nice way to use more of the space here in the backyard, using these vines from Jungle Adventure to give more of a whimsical touch to it. I think it looks so nice. So yeah, I just decided to have like an outdoor kitchen because there's going to be an outdoor dining space as well, not only just the sitting area that I added, but there's also gonna be a dining space. And for this tower, I was trying to channel a little bit of Rapunzel's tower, so you see it feels a little bit more whimsical than the rest of the castle. And here I'm adding like, is it kind of a trap door or something like that? I don't know what's the name of this thing, but it's a door on the floor and you use it, like you open it to get to this part of the tower. And I'm gonna be using this glass roof piece from Island Living here to simulate that there's an opening here. And yeah, I just used a lot of debug items here to just like fence it in a little bit and create a little bit more of the vibe that I was trying to go for. It's just a tiny detail, no one's gonna get to this part of the build, but I just really wanted to have a little bit more of realism in this castle, and I think something like this is just perfect. So I had to add it, and I really like it. I think it's a nice detail. And yeah, we're fencing this part as well. We're adding this fence from the Castle Estate kit that looks so well here. And soon we're gonna start with the outdoor dining space that I mentioned, but first we're gonna be adding some more plants. So of course I had to use these bushes that we got with Life and Death because they're pink and they're so beautiful, and we don't have things like this in the game. So I really wanted to use a lot of the Life and Death plants because they're really particular. They're really special. I think they look so nice, and I'm so excited to see how the Sims team managed to have a bit plants that look so alive, and also some of them that look so unalive, I would say. But like, you can definitely channel Life and Death with the plants that we got in this pack, so that was so cool. So I had to use it. And here was my first attempt to this dining area, as I mentioned, and then I decided to use this one that feels a little bit more fancy and a little bit more, I don't know, contemporary, or something that goes well, like it aligns a little bit better with the rest of this patio situation. So yeah, here I'm using this item from the Romantic Garden stuff pack, and I'm gonna be doing this trick with the basement so I could raise it up, and then your Sims can actually sit on both sides of the table without having any issues. Like, those chairs in the back are not blocked at all because the item from the romantic Romantic Garden stuff pack. I know I just said it. I don't know why I forgot the name. But yeah, from the Romantic Garden stuff pack, I think. I don't know. It sounds not correct. I don't know. But yeah, that item is on the basement technically. So the game feels like it's on the basement. So it doesn't block your Sims from using the chairs. And here we're creating a maze because there was a big space here. And sometimes you just need to have something a little bit different. And it's been a long time since I've built a maze in one of my builds. I actually know that I have used a maze before, but I just don't remember in which build I did it. So it must have been years. And when I say years, I mean like years since the last time that I did something like this. And maybe if you are like a long time follower, maybe you know what I'm talking about, because if I don't remember exactly in which build I did it, it must have been like a really old one. But yeah, this maze, I made sure that it was usable and that your Sims could get from one place to the other, from one entry to the other one, without any issues. So yeah, it took me a while. I actually had to speed that part of the maze up more than the rest of the build. Even though it feels like it's the same speed, I had to speed it up even more because it took me so long to figure out how to do that maze that yeah, it just took me forever. And by this time, my PC was kind of lagging a little bit with the build because it's just too big, and it's the first time that my PC has any issues with lagging. I usually don't have that problem, but with this build I actually did, so hopefully it was like a one-time thing and it's not gonna happen again. But if it does, I don't know how I'm gonna do it because yeah, I did do everything, and when you see the next video, you will see all the interior and every detail that I did, and that it's a miracle that my PC didn't die when I was doing this build. But yeah, I cannot believe it's almost at the end of the speed build. I'm so proud of myself and also so nervous about this. But yeah, we're creating this kind of raised up area here. It's like gazebo kind of thing. I wasn't sure what to do in here. I struggled a lot trying to figure out how to use this area. I really wanted to have something nice, something that felt a little bit more classic, and something that maybe it was like a secret garden or something like that. So I'm using these statues from the Romantic Garden stuff pack, and then I'm gonna be getting rid of them. And I tried using like a lot of items from this stuff pack because it just suits so well with this build. I ended up using this fountain that we got with the same stuff pack, and I think it just looks so nice. And now we're gonna be doing some landscaping, a little bit more of landscaping. So we're starting with the rocks. I use these debug rocks from base game, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, to frame all the water areas here in this build. They look so well. I really like these rocks. I think they look so nice, and they just help a lot, and they are the same color as the ones from the Riviera Retreat kit, so they look so well together, and they just work. It was like a nice combination of items here. So yeah, I just wanted to have like everything surrounded so you wouldn't think that the water areas were like just there just because. I just wanted to have a lot of water and use up the space the best way possible. So here we're adding more of these plants from the Life and Death expansion pack, but I'm gonna be getting rid of the low-lying bushes that I'm adding right now, and I'm gonna be changing them for another ones that I don't exactly remember which pack we got them. But I know that I replaced all of them because these were too bright, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna be using some of the plants that we got in Life and Death, but I could be mistaken. And we're adding some fireflies in here because of course every time that I remember that we have these kind of items, I need to use them. So yeah, a lot of fireflies around the whole castle. So if your Sims decide to spend the night in here, you will see that there's a lot of fireflies flying around, and I really tried to use as many items from the Life and Death expansion pack as possible because, as I said, I built this when we first got the pack. I really wanted to use as many items as possible, but there are many things that I didn't use, so don't expect me to show you many things from the pack. I just used what I thought would look better, and that's what I did. So yeah, we're decorating a little bit more here of the maze, creating some seating areas so your Sims would feel like the necessity to go through the maze, probably, so your Sims can come here and read a book or something like that. But yeah, we're actually heading to the end of the video now, so I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, please remember to like this video, also comment and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and thank you so much guys if you stayed at the end of this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Enjoy the screenshots. Goodbye.